Not sure, then it's in, otherwise I've been told I often do that too quietly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Eastrose Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. And a special good morning to those joining us on YouTube. We're glad you're with us. We'd especially like to thank those who are here for their first time. You will possibly join us for coffee and after the service and for our spirited discussion after the service today. My name is Patricia Walsh, and our speaker today is our own Reverend Robin. She is speaking on the topic, wind phones in the forest and the geography of grief. Eastrose sits on the occupied territory of the Clackamas Chinook people, who were forcibly displaced from this land to the Grand Ronde Reservation in 1855. We acknowledge the sacrifices endured by the ancestors of this land, and that our presence here today is only possible because of injustices committed against them. We recognize the inherent sovereignty of the Chinook Nation and the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, who carry on the traditions, history, and legacy held by their ancestors from time immemorial till to this day. We seek meaningful relationships with these communities that foster repair. Let us now take a moment to greet each other today, both here in the chapel and online. Let's start by standing, facing the cameras in the back, and waving hello to our online visitors. And then turn and greet your neighbors. save all that energy for greeting each other at coffee hour and for our spirited discussion group led by our own Reverend Robin, right there in front of us. Probably I should take this time to remind you all to take care of your cell phones, to make sure that we don't hear them, and all the other things that go ding. For our online guests, if you would like to share a joy or sorrow during that portion of the service, you can do it by entering it in the YouTube chat. They will be shared aloud with everyone. And I also encourage you to identify yourself in the chat so that we can acknowledge your presence with us today. And now please join us for the responsive call to worship, number 468 in the gray hymnal, "We Need One Another." Words will appear on the screen. I read the gold, you read the white. We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted.
We need one another when we are in trouble and afraid.
We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again.
We need one another when we would accomplish some great purpose and cannot do it alone.
We need one another in the hour of success, when we look for someone to share our triumphs.
We need one another in the hour of defeat, when with encouragement we might endure and stand again.
We need one another when we come to die, and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey.
All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us.
Light the chalice. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another. Each of us has cause to think of deep gratitude for those who have lighted the flame within us.
Thank you, Patty. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good to see you all. Our opening words today is a brief poem by Patricia Runkle called When You Meet Someone in Deep Grief. She writes, "When you meet someone in deep grief, slip off your shoes and set them by the door. Enter barefoot into this darkened chapel, hollowed by loss, hallowed by sorrow, its gray stone walls and floor. You, congregation of one, are here to listen, not to sing. Kneel in the back pew, make no sound, let the candles speak." We'll deepen into worship with our first hymn. It's number 18 in the gray hymnal, "What Wondrous Love Is This?" The words will be on the screen. Please rise as you are able.
Please join us now. Tara Toler, our family ministry person, will be reading with the kids The Heart and the Bottle by Oliver Jeffers.
Good morning. Today's story is about a girl who, like you, I believe, is curious and full of wonder about the world around her, from the depths of the ocean to the stars in the sky. Her grandfather is always by her side, sharing her curiosity about all the big questions of our universe. But something sad happens, and the little girl decides the safest thing to do is to protect her heart from feeling any more sadness. Sometimes, though, as you'll see, it's possible to keep your heart a little too safe. This is a story about what happens when we lock our hearts away, and about how hard, but how important it can be to open them up again. The Heart in the Bottle, written and illustrated by Oliver Jeffers. Once there was a girl, much like any other, whose head was filled with all the curiosities of the world, with thoughts of the stars, with wonder at the sea. She took delight in finding new things. Until the day she found an empty chair. Feeling unsure, the girl thought the best thing was to put her heart in a safe place, just for the time being. So she put it in a bottle and hung it around her neck. And that seemed to fix things at first. Although in truth, nothing was the same. She forgot about the stars and stopped taking notice of the sea. She was no longer filled with all the curiosities of the world and didn't take much notice of anything, other than how heavy and awkward the bottle had become. But at least her heart was safe. It might never have occurred to the girl what to do had she not met someone smaller and still curious about the world. There was a time when the girl would have known how to answer her, but not now, not without her heart. And it was right at that moment she decided to get it back out of the bottle. But she didn't know how. She couldn't remember. And nothing seemed to work. The bottle couldn't be broken. It just bounced and rolled right down to the sea. But there, it occurred to someone smaller and still curious about the world that she might know a way. And it just so happened she did. The heart was put back where it came from, and the chair wasn't so empty anymore. But the bottle was. Sad things do happen, and we will feel grief. And when we're ready, we can let our hearts open again to wonder, to each other, and to the world around us. And now we will leave Reverend Robin and the adults to continue this conversation. And if the adults along the center aisle will form a bridge, we'll sing the children out to Ari. Thanks.
We're going to have some quiet time together. I invite you to put your feet on the floor and uncross your arms and maybe drop your hands into your lap. See if you can let go into this, even if it's uncomfortable for you, and see where it might take you and how much spaciousness it might create inside of you that would help you feel more deeply, help you open up your heart or your mind or your throat. Drop your shoulders. Really drop your shoulders. Soften your face. If you're clenching your jaw, and clench your jaw. Soften your forehead. See whether your arms and hands are tight and you're clenching them as well, and let them just fall into your lap. And then big exhale. Make a noise if you need to or want to. I'm going to invite you to breathe 4 beats in through your nose slowly, 5 or 6 beats out through your mouth slowly, creating a rhythm. Keep breathing. I'm going to read a poem while you're breathing, and then we'll breathe together in silence. It's called Adrift by Mark Nepo. Everything is beautiful, and I am so sad. This is how the heart makes a duet of wonder and grief. The light spraying through the lace of the fern is as delicate as the fibers of memory, forming their web around the knot in my throat. The breeze makes the birds move from branch to branch, as this ache makes me look for those I've lost in the next room, in the next song, in the laugh of the next stranger, in the very center under it all. What we have that no one can take away, and all that we've lost face each other. It is there that I'm adrift, feeling punctured by the holiness that exists inside everything. I am so sad, and everything is beautiful. Let's breathe together. Slowly come out of your breathing. Do a few more rounds of your rhythmic breathing, and then a big exhale. Release. We will sing our spirit song seated. It's number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. The words will be on the screen.
May
Learning to Dance with a Limp by Julia K. Martin, heavily edited for conciseness. You will lose someone you can't live without, and your heart will be badly broken. And the bad news is that you never completely get over the loss of your beloved. But it's also the good news. They live forever in your broken heart that doesn't seal back up. And you come through it. It's like having a broken leg that never fully heals perfectly. Still hurts when the weather is cold, but you learn to dance with a limp. These are the words of Anne Lamott. The incredibly sudden, jarring death of my mother in May 1995, which left my family without the glue that held our lives together, made my father a single parent and my sister and I motherless daughters virtually overnight. I was still an 8-year-old child. My 12-year-old sister was on the precipice of adolescence. The day my mom died was just the start of a series of losses that have rippled through the rest of my life since. She wasn't at my art shows, my sporting events, my chorus concerts, my graduations, my wedding. She will continue to miss so many moments for the rest of my life, and that will hurt for the rest of my life. Anne Lamott describes the death of someone we love as a lifelong nightmare of homesickness. It is an endless longing for someone who is gone forever, for something that can never be. It is a persistent feeling of wanting to go home. But you can't ever again, really, because home died with the person the day they left. Finding meaning and loss in grief doesn't happen overnight, not even close. But it can happen eventually if we open ourselves to it. It has taken many years for me to begin shifting my own narrative around the loss and grief that have so deeply affected me. There is a delicate balance between acknowledging the undeniable impact of that early loss of my mother, what impact it has had on who I've become, and not allowing it to define me. I now view it as a very important chapter, but not the entire story. It is a piece of who I am, but it is not all of who I am. Grief is love in another form. If love never ends, why would grief? We will never stop loving those we have lost, and we will never stop grieving their absence in our lives. Love is forever. Grief is forever.
The concept couldn't be simpler or more profound. Place a disconnected telephone in the woods, available to anyone who needs to talk to someone who cannot hear them. It could be final words not spoken to a lost loved one, parting words to an ex, a secret that refuses to be contained, or a simple shout of frustration that would otherwise be held in. In a back corner of the wooded park, a rotary telephone and sign are attached to a humble slab of plywood, which itself is attached to the back of a towering western red cedar tree. Callers have privacy in the solitude of the woods, and the trunk of the tree, it shields them from the main trail. A woman named Lori used the telephone of the wind to talk to her son Tom, who died suddenly at only 27 years old. He was here on Friday and gone on Saturday, she says. After leaving the hospital, I was in a fog. In retrospect, there were so many things I wish I'd said to him, but didn't. When I talked on the phone, I didn't have anything formulated in my mind to say. After she used it and spoke to Tom in a formal way, she reported that she felt relief, even joy. This is precisely how the telephone of the wind was intended to be used. That particular wind phone near Olympia, Washington, was inspired by a podcast that the creator heard about a disconnected rotary telephone installed in Otsuki, Japan. That telephone at the wind was placed on a hilltop near the Pacific Ocean in 2011, shortly after a massive earthquake struck and the ensuing tsunami that washed tens of thousands of people out to sea, presumed dead. As shocked residents grieved for those they lost, mourners would line up by the hundreds to speak into the wind phone to their missed loved ones. They spoke to them about both meaningful and mundane things, life ambitions, updates on the schoolwork of sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters, news of engagements and weddings. It gives you the privacy to say the things you need or want to say and feel some sense of connection. This past week, as I was preparing this sermon, I was amazed to see the multitude of wind phones in the world. I mean, an incredible number. Who knew? In our neck of the woods, there is one in Boring, 2 in Portland, 1 in Silverton, and 3 in other parts of Oregon. Washington State has an impressive 23 wind phones, and you can find their exact locations on mywindphone.com. And I definitely plan to check them out. Can we see the slide, Ayla? Here are the ones in Boring, Silverton, and 2 of the ones in Portland. So they're all quite unique in the way they're designed. Thank you, Ayla. I'd say that the wind phone phenomenon speaks poignantly and creatively to our human need to make sense of loss and to find comforting and effective methods to grieve. In the coming week, people throughout the world will observe different holidays, different observances, All Souls in Christianity, or Samhain among pagans and Wiccans, and Dios de los Muertos in the Latin community, when the veil between the living and dead is the thinnest. And part of the practice is communicating with your dead loved ones. 3 religious observances that honor the dead and offer methods to connect. And we have this altar here today that is very beautiful tribute to the people you love and the people you've lost, both in photographs and objects. And after the service, come on up and take a look at the altar before people take away what they brought in today. In an interview in Sun magazine entitled "The Geography of Sorrow," The interviewer speaks with Frank Weller, he's a psychologist, who asks us to view grief as a visitor to be welcomed, not shunned. He reminds us that in addition to feeling pain over the loss of loved ones, we harbor sorrows stemming from the state of the world and the misunderstood parts of ourself. I think many of us feel tremendous sorrow over what is happening around us in the world. He says grief comes in many forms, and when it's not expressed, it tends to harden the once vibrant parts of us. And he warns us about the compulsive aversion to death and grieving in Western culture. He tells us, expressing grief has always been a challenge. The main difference between our society and societies in the past is how private we are with it today. Though through most of human history, grief was a communal experience. The Pueblo people of the Southwest, for example, have crying songs to help move their grief along. And the Mohawk tradition have condolence rituals where they tend to the bereaved with an elegant series of gestures, such as wiping tears from their eyes with the soft skin of a fawn. You picture that? It's a beautiful image. The healers in those traditions know that it's not good to carry grief in the body for a long time. But now we're asked, and I think sometimes forced, to carry grief as a solitary burden. We don't want to bother people, and the psyche knows we are not capable of handling grief in isolation. So it holds us back from going into that territory until the conditions are right, which they rarely are. And a message we either give ourselves or other people give us is, well, get over it, get back to work. Weller continues, again and again in my practice, clients come to me with a depression that is more of an oppression, a result of so many years of sorrow that have not been touched with kindness or compassion or community. And then you're left with this untenable situation to try to walk alone with this sack of grief on your back without knowing where to take it. And as we've heard, some people take it to a wind phone in the woods. Where do you take your grief? Have you locked it away? Felt it fully? Have you been given the unhelpful message to get over it, or that you have grieved for too long? Does your grief embarrass you? Is it any wonder then that we experience such despair and frustration when the getting over can't be rushed along or accomplished neatly or according to someone else's timetable? I agree with Weller that we need to, in his words, live in the ashes in order to emerge into the sunlight. Writer Margaret Atwood concurs. I shared these thoughts in my most recent Petals column. In her collection of poems, Morning in the Burning House, Atwood writes, "We can shun sorrow in fear, but when we give ourselves to the uses of sorrow, we find what peace is to be found, what happiness we can salvage in walking the fields and towns of this earth." I am reminded of these wise words whenever I meet with a congregant to discuss loss and grief of any kind through death, divorce, job loss, family crisis, or ill health. And now added to this deep grief and despair, as I've said, is what we are experiencing in our society and world. What do you think it means to give yourself to the uses of sorrow? As vulnerable flesh and feeling human beings, we're really not meant to minimize our losses. That's not healthy. And grief may be forever in some ways, but the tangible process of grief, it's varying lengths depending on the person and the circumstances. And the outcome of this process is one of making meaning of our losses, not getting over them, and weaving them into the reality of our life, much like strands that are woven into a tapestry. We don't get over our losses. We carry them. We weave them. They become part of us. Yet some losses can only be carried, and in time we can learn to live with them. Spiritually, it is the healthiest approach and goal. As Atwood puts it, we find what peace is to be found, what happiness can be salvaged. We go on, sometimes with our hearts healed broken, to walk the fields and towns of this earth. And Atwood writes that grief takes her, and I think takes us too, nowhere familiar, somewhere I've been before. It always takes a long time to decipher where you are. These images ring so true. One of the Hindu prophets called grief a pathless land. Wow, a pathless land. But sometimes we find our ways towards a wind phone or a friend or a minister or a trusted family member or a fellow community member here at Eastrose. That is what beloved community is and is meant to be. In addition to the toxic and incessant get-over-it message, we've been indoctrinated with the theory that grief has 5 distinct linear stages, right? We've all heard of the 5 stages of grief, passages to tick off as if grief was a project and not a very raw and challenging experience, a sort of superhighway with clear mile markers: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But in truth, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross devised her 5 stages as a way to capture the process of dying, not the process of grieving. And many people don't realize that. And a really more helpful and realistic paradigm of grief as a winding valley and not a superhighway was presented by Ruth Davis Koenigsberg in her groundbreaking book called The Truth About Grief. I have it in my office if you'd like to borrow it. She explains that current research paints a completely different picture of how we actually grieve. It turns out people are pretty well programmed to get over loss. Grieving should not be a strictly regimented process, she argues, nor is it the best remedy for pain always to examine it and express it at great length for long periods of time. The strength of her message is its liberating force. There is no manual for grieving. You write it freestyle with kindness towards yourself. And in the course of clarifying our picture of grief, she tells its history, much like Weller does, revealing how social and cultural forces have shaped our approach to loss, from the Gettysburg Address through 9/11. And she examines how the American version of grief has spread to the rest of the world. And like Weller, she contrasts it with the interpretation of other cultures, like the Chinese, who focus more on their bond with the deceased than on the emotional impact of losing them. Let's look at the diagram from Koenigberg's book. Looks very different from the 5, that straight line that we think of as the stages of grief. You can keep it up there for a little while. So interspersed with the 5 stages we know, we find fear, searching, panic, loneliness, guilt, reentry troubles, new relationships, strengths and patterns, hope. Hope, that's an important one. Affirmation, helping others, and adjustment. Thank you, Ayla. Research tells us that most people are resilient enough to move through loss and recover their footing. And it's really a small minority who experience prolonged grief that only time and professional interventions can remedy. I think Koenigsberg gives us a much more reassuring diagram of the human emotions and genuine stages of a grieving process. Nevertheless, the first step will always be shock and moving past denial Denial's a way your brain protects you from something difficult, so it makes sense. But moving past denial and being swept up in the wave that carries us to a new reality, that we have indeed lost someone or something we cherish, and that wave can just knock us flat. We all have our stories of loss and grief, and Kathy shared a very poignant and personal one with us that I identify with. I have mentioned before that my mother died young, at age 55, of a brain tumor. It was in 1986. She never met my children. She missed so much. Now, 12 years later, in 1998, when I was at Mass General Hospital completing a summers-long clinical pastoral education program in chaplaincy, I walked into a patient's room and was hit with that wave. The patient was a woman who would have been about my mother's age, and her daughter, about my age, was at the foot of the bed. And between them was fanned out this array of photographs of the woman's grandchildren. They were delighting over the pictures and over each other's company, and I realized in that moment, what an aha moment, that I had never completed a grieving process for her and that it was not healthy. So I dove into that wave that summer and I got very wet. I felt a lot like the poet Mark Nepo expresses with such simple elegance. Everything is beautiful and I am so sad. This is how the heart makes a duet of wonder and grief. It is there that I am adrift, feeling punctured by the holiness that exists inside everything. I am so sad and everything is beautiful. As humans, we are mostly made of water, so of course, we will cry and there will be salty trails. Yet your grieving is worth your time, and there's no time limit. Mary Oliver knows this too. In her beautiful poem entitled Heavy, she writes, "That time that I thought I could not get any closer to grief without dying, I went closer, and I did not die. Surely God had a hand in this, as well as my friends. Still, I was bent, and my laughter was nowhere to be found. Then my friend Daniel, brave even among lions, said to me, 'It's not the weight you carry it. It's not the weight you carry, but how you carry it. Books, bricks, grief. It's the way you embrace it, balance it, when you cannot and would not put it down.' So I went practicing," Oliver tells us. "Have you noticed? Have you heard the laughter that comes now and again out of my startled mouth? How I linger to admire things in this world that are kind, but maybe also troubled. The roses in the wind, the sea geese on the steep waves, a love to which there is no reply. As we honor the dead and also celebrate the living, may we seek and find one another as we walk the rugged and pathless land of grief. And may we find relief and comfort in wind phone conversations, in the stillness of our own hurting but resilient hearts, and in the sure knowledge that here at Eastrose, in joy and in sorrow, you are not alone. Blessed be, blessed we, and amen." Our final hymn is number 1002, Comfort Me. Please rise as you are able.
Comfort me,
One purpose of church is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of many of the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit. We share half the money collected each week with a local organization doing good work in our community. Snowcap Community Charities is our Sharing the Bounty partner for September through February. Almost cut them short a month. Eastrose has a long relationship with Snowcap. We are one of 25 founding congregations. That was in 1967. It was founded to address the needs of East Multnomah County residents with food, clothing, personal care items, needs for infants. We look to deepen our partnership with Snowcap over the next months. If you are attending online, you may donate by visiting our website and clicking on the donate button. Or you may scan the QR code on the screen. If you are here for the first time, we invite you to let the basket pass you by. You are truly our guest today. The gifts of the congregation will now be gratefully received. And can I ask Keen and Ruth? Please join us in singing our song of gratitude, number 1010 in the teal hymnal. We give thanks. The words will be on the screen, and please remain seated.
With love and care, oh, we give thanks.
was waiting to see what y'all were going to do. And now, if Susie could come up. Where is Susie? Right there, right there. This is Reverend Suma Watson is going to talk to us about something important.
Use the microphones.
Okay. I'm here to talk about the auction, which is coming up November 1st. A couple of things. It's very much fun to go to. There's lots of wonderful things to bid on, or nothing, just to be there in companionship and laughter. Our own Micah is going to be performing for us at the event. In the back, where the coffee will be, I will be selling tickets. We have a credit card reader. And so for the last couple of weeks, we haven't had that. Now you can just put your ticket buying on your credit card. And when you go to the event, you can also pay by credit card if you wish. Let's see, there are a list of items in the back that you will be able to bid on, so you can see that. And you will be receiving an email of the whole program. And if you need a hard copy,
Actually, I don't think they're going to be getting, the links are on pedals.
okay, the links are in Petals, and then you can pull it up and see.
We'll hear more about the auction during the announcement.
Okay. The other thing is that we have what is called the lightning round, where we choose a nonprofit to receive some of the money that we will be giving. And this year we chose Mount Hood Hospice, and we have a representative from Mount Hood Hospice, Julia Fanton, and she'd come up and speak and talk about Mount Hood Hospice.
Thank you, Susan.
Hello, thank you for having me. I didn't know we were being recorded. Makes me even more nervous. But I do have to say, it's very interesting how God works, and for me to be here today and listen to your the lovely program and talk about the wind phone and some of the things that we do, our grief support. And this year at our annual Time of Remembering event, we had a wind phone for the first time. And also one of my hospice volunteers is here today. So that gives me a little more comfort as well. But we're super grateful that you guys have chosen us as the charity for your auction. We are a freestanding, not-for-profit community hospice. We are based in Sandy, Oregon, but we serve a big area, Clackamas and East Multnomah County. We just don't go over the river. Our mission is to care for patients and their loved ones, regardless of their ability to pay. And also, something to note is that Medicare ranks all hospices from family surveys that are done about the care that they received. And we are the only 5-star rated hospice in the greater Portland metro area. And we're very proud of that. We are proud partners of We Honor Veterans, and so for this we partner with them and we learn additional information about veterans and their unique needs and how to better serve them. 30% on average of our patients are veterans, and so it also allows us to recognize and honor the sacrifices of our patients and their families, as well as those in the community. So we are getting ready to do a Veterans Day event up in Sandy as well, and we get to do that a lot with the community. So that's a really special part of our organization, as well as we have a vet-to-vet program, so volunteers that are veterans are paired with veteran patients. We're also part of Pet Peace of Mind, and that is a program that helps keep patients and pets together through the end of life. And we have volunteers that can help assist with that, as well as we reimburse for food and cat litter, routine grooming, and routine vet care. And then one of the reasons that we can offer our top-notch compassionate care is our nurse-to-patient ratio. That's really an important thing when you're looking at care, especially at the end of life. Our nurses never go above 10 patients, so it's on average 8 to 10 patients per nurse, as opposed to sometimes in the larger hospices, they might be 20, 25. One of the things people always say, I wish we would have gotten on sooner. I wish we would have gotten on sooner. I hear that all the time because they're not familiar with all the services that we can provide, not just for the patient, but for the family as well. We want everyone to remember that you have the right to choose your own hospice care provider. You don't have to go with the one that your insurance says, Providence or Legacy or what have you. But and then I guess I do have my glasses with me, and I forgot that. So if you have questions or if you're wondering when it's the right time for hospice care, we can always do informational visits or answer any questions as well. I'll be here with some information in the back after the service. And as you may know, people younger and younger are getting cancer, unfortunately, and Medicare, of course, covers hospice. It is a benefit, but when you are not working and don't have health insurance, or you have private health insurance, a lot of times you'll have the deductibles and the co-pays and things like that. And we want to make sure at this time to never send a bill to our families. So that is why we care for patients and families regardless of their ability to pay, and they will never receive a bill from us. We do, as I mentioned, we have a really robust grief support program. It is free and open to the public. There's no no association with hospice is required, and we have something every day of the week, weekdays, for everyone who's going through grief. And it was a very lovely talk today. So thank you again for having us here and for thinking of us, and we want to be there when you need us most. So thank you.
No. Later, Carol. I will cue you, Carol, when the time comes. We first wish to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame to remind us that love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains. everybody who was involved in making this service what it was. Micah, I gotta say, I love the jazz. little going off script there. Announcements. I have one I have to read without my glasses on. Do you have your ballot yet? The special election is Tuesday, November 4th. That's coming up close. That's about 10 days. There's only one measure. So, but please, it's about Portland Parks and Recreation getting like a budget. So if you have your ballot, return it. If you don't have your ballot, call up and get one. This is for the, I'm not sure if this is Portland City or Multnomah County. I think it's Portland City.
Portland Parks and Recreation.
The catchment area for which people should have a ballot is Portland City. Okay. All right. And put the glasses back on. And now we have a couple of announcements about the upcoming auction. So first, Susie, do you have more? You did your whole thing. You did your whole thing. Okay. You were on my short list. So, and now Carol is here to briefly do an announcement. Carol's laughing because this is like the third time I said briefly. And Carol, you will need a mic. Carol?
I would just like very much to thank everybody that did sign this. This is for the food, to help with the food.
Okay, one more time.
Oh! It's off.
It's off. There we go. One more time.
I thought I had a loud enough voice anyway. Okay, anyway, so this is for the food, thank you. And I'm thanking everybody that has already signed up. I need a couple more people to sign up to make tea sandwiches. I was just talking to Patty today about, I remember loving cucumber tea sandwiches. So if somebody would sign up for that, and then there are all kinds of other, I think this one is an egg salad that somebody signed up for. So there's tuna, there's all kinds of other, I can't think right now. All right, thank you. And that will be in the back with the, where selling tickets.
Yeah. Question. Is there a sign up, still a sign up for needing help?
Yes, that's also in the back.
Okay.
Not on that list is for desserts. So there is a separate little sheet that people can sign up to bring desserts also.
Okay, thank you. This is your last Sunday.
Carol may have called people, but I don't know if you did or not, because I don't know if I remember to tell you to call people. So
I will be
if you're bringing food, please bring serving pieces, because the center does not have serving pieces for us to use. I'm going to get some extras, but those bringing food, it would help a lot. Thank you.
Serving what? Thank you.
Serving utensils, serving pieces, utensils.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So if anything else arises in regards to the auction, there will be a table in the back where you can get all your questions answered, and you can also buy a ticket. So, and that is it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Ayla, for your fine collaboration today. After coffee, we will have spirited conversations today where we meet in a circle and we more deeply explore the theme of the service. And today, I think, will be one in which we can provide a safe space for people to explore the topic of grief and some of the things that were touched on in the service. So you're all welcome to come to the circle. But now please join me in the benediction on the screen. Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. May you go out in love and return in joy. Amen.